Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are starting off this morning very foggy here across the Houston area. You are going to want to be extra cautious out there if you have to drive this morning. Warm and pleasant today. We will see the fog dissipate as we go throughout the day, and then that cold front eventually arriving tonight. That will bring a dose of chilly temperatures back in the forecast for our Monday. So we're also looking at some midweek warming. So temps are going to be on a roller coaster ride as we head through the next few days. Here's an update from the National Weather Service. They ended up extending this dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. It was until 9 a.m. The newest update does have it extended into 10 o'clock this morning, and then this is in place for most of Southeast Texas and pretty much all of our major metropolitan area of Houston, as well as all of our major roadways. So the time now is 8 o'clock this morning, and we are seeing zero visibility all across the board from Conroe, Bush Airport, even Tomball, Sugarland, zero, I-10, I-45, 290. All of our major freeways are seeing zero visibility, and you're able to see that on our current cameras right now. Look at that. Rice Military, Galveston, downtown Houston, even the Galleria area. That camera is on top of our roof from the KHOU 11 studios. It's facing downtown, but you just really can't see anything out there. And so it's important to be extra cautious this morning if you do find yourself driving all across the area. See all of our cameras just showing that fog. 61 degrees at Bush Airport, Galveston 63, Brenham 62, Tomball 61. Temps are starting off a bit warmer this morning than what we've seen in the previous mornings, and we're going to be off to this warming trend as we head into later this afternoon. And so once this fog does dissipate, we are expecting those highs to top out in the lower 70s, at least by 1 o'clock this afternoon. 72 by 3. It's going to be a fantastic day with this being one of the warmest days that we've seen in quite some time, at least for the past few days. We've had a gloomy and dreary outlook, but the good news is that we are in for a fantastic afternoon with a high of 72. And just keep in mind that that fog is going to be lasting at least through 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning. And so if you're heading off to church or you're heading off to brunch maybe or breakfast this morning, just be extra cautious on those intersections and on the major roadways across town. Radar is really quiet, not seeing any rain on radar, but take a look at what's happening out in the panhandle of Texas. We're seeing some precipitation and some wintry precipitation moving through the panhandle, and that's all because of a cold front that's currently moving into the northern portions of our state. So right now in the 30s out in Lubbock. And so as this front continues pushing towards Southeast Texas, we are going to see that front arrive later on tonight. And but the good news, though, is that we're going to remain warm at least for today. It's not going to affect us at least until tonight, into tomorrow morning. And so once that front does sweep on through the Houston area, we are expecting cold conditions. Once again, temperatures in the low 40s as you start off your morning. So you are going to want to just have those jackets on standby and bundle up out there if you're heading off to work or school tomorrow morning, because it's going to be in the lower 40s, and some of us could actually end up in the 30s, especially north of downtown Houston. So the good news about this cold front, that there is no rain associated with it, so we're not going to have those slick roadways or ponding on roadways like we've seen with the cold fronts that were arriving last week. But no rain on expected. It's going to be a dry cold front, but we are going to be sunny and cooler, at least for the start of our work week, and then temps warming right back up into the 70s as we head into the middle of the week. The latest drought report, we're showing you the drought report, just showing improvements of what we've seen, all thanks to the recent rainfall. But our rainfall outlook does show us a bit drier than normal, at least through December 13th and through December 17th. We could be also a little bit on the cooler side. Our average temperature for this time of year here in Houston is usually around 67 degrees. And so as we look at those average high, or the temperatures forecasted for the next 10 days, we are going to be only above that for 2 days, at least for Wednesday and Thursday. So that cold front arriving tonight is going to bring us those conditions that are going to be below average. So much of the next 10 days is going to be below average, and for us here across the Houston area, even though we've seen a pretty warm November. But looking at your 7-day forecast to sum this all up, we are expecting frontal boundary arriving later tonight. We're still going to be foggy at least until 10 o'clock this afternoon, and then we are expecting a surge of colder air to once again return for the start of our work week. Highs are going to struggle to make it out of the 60s. I think we're going to see some sunshine, and that sunshine is really going to give us the opportunity to actually get up to 60 degrees by the afternoon hours, but getting up to 64 for Tuesday, 74 for Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday is going to be those days that you're going to be able to spend time outdoors. So if you are a fan of the outdoors and the warmer weather, just keep in mind we're going to have to at least wait until Wednesday and Thursday after today to do those outdoor plans. land for the most part. So that's what's going on here across the Houston area. Just to kind of sum this up, but just in case you are just now joining us here on KHOU 11 Plus, currently right now the time is 8:04. We are looking at a dense fog advisory that has been extended here across the area until 10 a.m. and that does include the city of Houston. And all of our surrounding areas, all of our major roadways are currently experiencing dense fog at the current moment, and you're able to see that with the current visibility 0 miles from Conroe, Bush Airport, Hobby Airport, Pearland, Galveston, even Tomball, Sugarland. The fog is there and it is causing some issues for some of us. I know there was a couple of accidents that were reported this morning. I don't know if fog had anything to do with it, but it definitely, from my experience in coming in from work from the north side of town, I couldn't tell where I was. I could only tell where I was if it wasn't for the highway signs that were above the freeways. I didn't even know that I was approaching the Galleria area, which was where our studios are at, until I saw the Westheimer sign, because I couldn't recognize anything around me. And so be extra cautious out there. I know the sun has risen, so it's probably making it a bit easier for you to get around and to see where things are going, but we're still looking at 0 mile visibility through the next couple of mornings. And that's what we're able to see right now across all of our cameras here across the area. Rice Military, that's at the St. Thomas High School facing downtown. Galveston, even Galveston looking very foggy out there. We usually could see very clear conditions on these cameras. It makes it seem like something's wrong with the cameras, but it's not. That's just how foggy it is out there. And you really can't see that much in front of you if you are heading out and about across town. Bush Airport 61, Galveston 63. We're starting off a bit warm. It's this moisture that's coming in from the Gulf, which is really bringing us the fog. It's also bringing us these warmer temperatures. It's going to be a little bit more humid, but this is all ahead of a front that's going to be arriving later on tonight. So if you're planning your Sunday, just keep in mind that the fog is not going to last all that much longer. We're expecting that to dissipate at least until 10, 11 o'clock is when we're going to finally see that sun make its appearance. But the good news is, take a look at these temperatures getting up to 70, 72 degrees this afternoon. That is going to bring us fantastic conditions for those outdoor plans that if you have those today, because we are expecting these warm conditions to only last today, and then tomorrow we're going to be off to a very chilly start once again with the arrival of this cold front. So fog dissipating by 10 a.m. and we are expecting not really any rain in the forecast, but we're looking at this front that's currently moving to the panhandle. You're able to see a little bit of wintry mix there of precipitation as that front is currently starting to sweep through the northwestern parts of Texas. So this is going to be the front that's going to bring us those chilly temps as we head into Monday morning. So keep that in mind, that keep those jackets, just keep them on the hook next to the door, because you're going to need them heading out starting tomorrow. I don't think you're going to need them today, but tomorrow you might, because we are going to be pretty cold out there with temps getting down to 42 degrees by Monday morning if you are heading out the door. And we're going to struggle to make it out of the 50s. I'm pretty sure we will make it out of the 50s because we're expecting abundant sunshine. This is a dry cold front that's going to be sweeping through, and that is going to really not give us any rain chances for the next 7 days. So something to keep an eye on is that we are going to experience a roller coaster ride of temperatures, at least for this week. It's going to be great today, chilly tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, we're back to warm and sunny conditions with temperatures in the 70s, and we are expecting that to continue at least through the next 7 days. And then we have another front on the way that models are hinting at as we head into Friday and Saturday. It's going to bring those temperatures back down into the lower 50s. It's looking more likely that that front by this next weekend is going to be a bit stronger for us here across the Houston area, as those highs are going to struggle to make it out of the low 50s. So keep in mind that we are off to a pretty cold December as we head into the next few days here across the Houston area. And so here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures starting off warm this morning. You are not going to need a jacket heading out the door, especially for this afternoon, but you will tomorrow with the arrival of this cold front. Be extra cautious with this fog that's currently out there. That's going to be lasting at least until 10 o'clock this morning. As the sun continues rising, it will cause that fog to dissipate, but we are expecting tonight to be mostly dry, but just starting to become chilly. And we might see some breezy conditions with this front as well, with winds gusting up to 20, 25 miles an hour. And so we're looking forward to the middle of the week when temps are going to be warming back into the 70s, and then another front on the way for next Thursday, Friday, that's going to send us right back down into the 50. So we are in for a roller coaster ride of temperatures at least for the next 7 days. And you can always get the latest forecasts on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. I'm meteorologist Ramirez with your extended forecast for the Houston area. And thank you for watching KHOU 11 Plus.